If you're over 60, there's something important you need to hear. Some vitamins, yes, the very ones many seniors take every day to stay healthy, could quietly raise your risk of a stroke. No warning, no pain. You go to bed feeling fine and wake up with your speech slurred, your balance gone, or your memory suddenly fading. I've seen it happen far too often, not in people who smoked or ignored their health, but in older adults who genuinely tried to do everything right. They walked, they ate well, they took their supplements faithfully. But what they didn't know was that certain vitamins, especially in high doses or taken at the wrong time, can silently harm the brain, sometimes overnight. That's why this video is so important, because today I'm going to walk you through 5 common vitamins you might have in your cabinet right now that can quietly increase your risk of stroke, brain bleeds, or nerve damage, especially if you're over 60. And more importantly, I'll show you how to protect yourself with the right habits, smarter choices, and simple food-based alternatives that actually support brain health without the hidden risks. So if brain health matters to you or someone you love, stay with me until the end. This could be the most important few minutes of your week. Before we begin, tell me, where are you watching from? Type your city or country in the comments, I'd love to know. And if brain health matters to you or someone you love, please subscribe so you don't miss the next helpful video. Now let's get started. Let's begin with a vitamin that may truly surprise you, vitamin D. Yes, the sunshine vitamin. Many of us have been told it's good for our bones, for our immune system, even for our mood. And much of that is true, when it's taken correctly and in the right amount. But here's something most seniors are never told, something I wish more people over 60 knew. Too much vitamin D, especially if taken late in the day, can quietly increase your risk of a stroke. And sadly, the warning signs may never come. Let me gently walk you through what happens inside the body. As we get older, our body's ability to process and manage certain nutrients becomes more delicate. When we take large amounts of vitamin D, especially without our doctor checking our levels, it can force our body to absorb more calcium than it actually needs. And here's where it becomes risky. If you're in your 60s, 70s or beyond, your kidneys, your liver, and even your blood vessels may not be as efficient at handling that extra calcium. So what does the body do? It tries to store it, but not in the bones where it belongs. Instead, the calcium may start to build up inside the arteries. That makes the arteries stiff, narrow, and more likely to form dangerous clots. This can quietly set the stage for a stroke, without pain, without symptoms, and without any warning. But there's more to it. Newer research suggests that taking vitamin D at night may interfere with our body's natural sleep hormone, melatonin. Melatonin helps us rest deeply, and our body relies on that deep sleep to repair the brain and keep blood pressure steady overnight. When melatonin is disrupted, sleep becomes poor, blood pressure can rise, and the risk of a nighttime stroke increases, especially when calcium is circulating in the blood. Now, I know this sounds frightening, but here's something very important I want you to hear. Most over-the-counter vitamin D supplements, especially in the US, contain 5,000 to even 10,000 IU per capsule. That's far more than most older adults need. In fact, unless your doctor has found that you're low in vitamin D, you may only need 600 to 800 IU per day, and always taken in the morning, never close to bedtime. And if you're also taking calcium, heart medications, or anything for blood pressure, please talk to your doctor about your vitamin D dose. Ask for a simple blood test to check your levels. It could prevent a very serious complication down the road. Remember, it's not that vitamin D is bad, it's that too much taken at the wrong time and without medical guidance can become a silent risk, especially after 60. You deserve to feel confident and safe about everything you put in your body, and that starts with being informed, gently, clearly, and with care. Let's move on to the next one. Now let's take a gentle look at another vitamin that many seniors take, often with the best intentions. Vitamin E. You've probably heard it called the heart helper. It's been praised for supporting circulation, memory, and even skin health. It sounds like something that would only do good, doesn't it? And yes, in small amounts, vitamin E does play an important role in protecting our cells from damage. But here's where things get quietly risky, especially as we grow older. High doses of vitamin E can act very much like a blood thinner. And if you're already taking aspirin, Plavix, or any medication that thins the blood, even natural ones like fish oil, then this combination can tip the balance too far. You see, our blood needs to stay in a delicate balance, not too thick, not too thin. When vitamin E is added on top of blood-thinning medications, it can make the blood so thin that a simple fall or even a bump to the head could lead to internal bleeding. In some rare but very real cases, it can even lead to a brain hemorrhage, which for older adults can be life-threatening. Around him. Now here's something many seniors don't realize. The recommended daily intake of vitamin E for older adults is just 15 milligrams. That's about 22 IU. But many over-the-counter supplements contain 200, 400 or even 1000 IU per capsule. And usually there's no clear warning on the label, especially not about the interaction with blood thinners. So if you're over 60 and taking any medication for your heart, circulation or stroke prevention, please check the label of your multivitamin or supplement. And don't be afraid to bring it to your doctor or pharmacist. Ask them if it's safe, ask if it's necessary. You deserve to have peace of mind with every pill you take. Vitamin E is not dangerous by itself, but in high doses and combined with blood thinners, it can turn a small accident into a serious emergency. Knowledge truly is power, especially when it comes to your health after 60. Let's keep going, because the next vitamin might surprise you even more. Before we go on, please subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments, where are you watching from? I'd love to hear. Now let's gently talk about the third vitamin, vitamin B6. You might recognize this one from multivitamin labels or energy supplements. It's often promoted for brain health, nerve function, and mood support. And for good reason. In small, appropriate amounts, B6 helps your brain make important chemicals like serotonin and dopamine. These keep your mood stable and your memory sharp. But here's the part that's often left out. Too much B6, especially over time, can slowly damage your nerves. And for seniors, that can be especially dangerous. You see, as we age, our nerves naturally become a little more sensitive, like the insulation around them wears thin. Vitamin B6, when taken in high doses, can speed up that damage, especially in the hands and feet. The medical term is sensory neuropathy, but most people describe it simply as a strange tingling, burning, or numbness in the fingers, toes, or legs. At first, it might just feel annoying, but if left unchecked, it can progress to balance problems, weakness, and even difficulty walking safely. I once met a woman in her 70s who had been taking a nerve support vitamin from the drugstore every day for a year. She thought it was helping her brain, but her B6 levels were over 5 times the safe limit, and her legs had become so weak she couldn't step off a curb without help. Fortunately, we caught it in time, but the damage can sometimes be permanent. Here's what many don't realize. Vitamin B6 is water-soluble, which means it doesn't build up in fat like some other vitamins. But that doesn't make it harmless. The recommended daily intake for older adults is just about 1.5 milligrams. Yet many supplements contain 50, 100, even 200 milligrams per dose, far more than the body can use. And unlike excess vitamin C, which is usually flushed out, excess B6 starts affecting the nerves before you even feel it happening. If you're taking a multivitamin or a B complex, please do something simple. Check the label, look at how much vitamin B6 it contains, and always talk to your doctor before adding extra B6, especially if you're already dealing with balance issues, numbness, or tingling in your hands or feet. Taken wisely, B6 can support your brain. But taken in high doses, it can slowly chip away at your independence without warning. So, be gentle with your nerves. Give them only what they need, no more. Now let's take our time and talk about the fourth, vitamin A. Most people think of vitamin A as the vision vitamin. You've probably heard it's good for your eyes, your skin, even your immune system. And that's true, but only in the right amount. What many seniors aren't told is that too much vitamin A, especially from supplements, can slowly become toxic. And over time, it may quietly damage your liver, weaken your bones, and even raise your risk of stroke. Let me gently explain. There are 2 main forms of vitamin A. One comes from plant foods, like carrots, sweet potatoes, and leafy greens. This version is called beta-carotene. Your body takes what it needs and safely converts it to vitamin A. That's why vegetables are such a safe source. But the other kind, called retinol or retinyl palmitate, comes from animal products and most over-the-counter vitamin supplements. And this is where the concern begins. You see, vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin. That means it doesn't flush out of your body easily like vitamin C or B-complex vitamins do. Instead, it builds up day after day, especially in your liver. And here's the part that quietly affects older adults the most. As we age, our liver becomes slower at processing excess nutrients. This means high doses of vitamin A, taken regularly, even unknowingly, can gradually start to damage the liver itself. You won't feel it at first. There's no pain, no warning, but over time this can lead to fatigue, nausea, and even liver inflammation. But that's not the only concern. Excess vitamin A has also been linked to bone thinning. Several large studies have shown that older adults who consume too much retinol are at a higher risk of hip fractures. That's because too much vitamin A interferes with how your body processes vitamin D and calcium, two key nutrients for strong bones. So instead of protecting you, high levels of vitamin A may quietly weaken your bones, making you more likely to fall and more likely to break something if you do. And then there's the risk we often don't talk about: blood pressure and stroke. Some newer studies suggest that long-term use of high-dose vitamin A supplements may raise intracranial pressure. That's pressure inside the skull. This can lead to headaches, vision changes, and in severe cases, vascular damage in the brain. For seniors, especially those already dealing with high blood pressure or blood-thinning medications, this can quietly increase the risk of stroke or hemorrhage. Here's where it gets more concerning. Many seniors are taking multivitamins that contain preformed vitamin A, often 2,500 to 10,000 IU per day. That might not sound like much, but remember, the recommended daily amount for older adults is just 700 mcg, about 2,300 IU for women, and 900 mcg, 3,000 IU for men. Anything more than that over time could tip the balance. And many vision formulas or immune boosters sold over the counter can contain well over the safe upper limit, often without warning. So what can you do? First, take a moment and check the labels of any supplements you're using. Look for words like retinol, retinyl palmitate, or preformed vitamin A. These are the forms that build up in your body. If you're already getting vitamin A from your food, like dairy, liver, or fortified cereals, your body likely doesn't need much more. Second, if your supplement contains beta-carotene instead of retinol, that's a safer option. Your body will only convert what it needs, and the rest will pass through without harm. And third, if you're taking medications for liver health, bone loss, blood pressure, or blood thinning, it's especially important to review your vitamin A intake with your doctor or pharmacist. It's not about fear, it's about balance, because with vitamins, more is not always better. And when it comes to vitamin A, the right dose can support your vision, but too much can silently affect your bones, brain, and liver without you even knowing. So be gentle, let your vitamins support your health, not silently harm it. Before we go on, please subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments, where are you watching from? I'd love to hear. Now let's gently talk about vitamin B3, also called niacin. It's often praised for its heart benefits. You'll find it in supplements claiming to lower cholesterol, improve circulation, or boost brain function. And for many seniors, that sounds like something worth taking. But here's what isn't always explained clearly. High-dose niacin supplements, especially taken without guidance, can quietly put stress on your liver, raise your blood sugar, and even increase stroke risk in some people. Let's take this step by step. Your body does need a small amount of niacin every day. It helps turn food into energy and supports healthy brain and nerve function. In fact, it's found naturally in foods like turkey, chicken, brown rice, peanuts, and tuna, where it's safe and balanced. But when it comes in the form of supplements, the doses are often much higher than necessary. A typical senior needs only about 14 to 16 milligrams per day. Yet many over-the-counter pills contain 500, 1,000 or even 2,000 milligrams per dose, often labeled as flush-free or cholesterol control. That's where the danger begins. Your liver has to process all of that extra niacin, and in older adults, liver function can naturally slow with age. Over time, this can lead to liver stress, nausea, or elevated liver enzymes, and you may not notice anything until blood work reveals it. Some people also experience sudden flushing, a hot, red sensation in the face or chest. While this may seem harmless, it's actually a sign that blood vessels are dilating. In seniors, especially those with low blood pressure or heart conditions, this can lead to dizziness, lightheadedness, or fainting. Worse still, high doses of niacin may affect blood sugar, especially in people with diabetes or prediabetes, and certain studies have raised concerns that mega doses may slightly increase the risk of stroke in vulnerable adults, particularly those with stiff arteries or existing cardiovascular disease. The tricky part, niacin often hides in other supplements like memory pills, energy blends, or multivitamins. So many older adults are taking more than they realize. Here's the gentle takeaway. If you're using a supplement with more than 50 milligrams of niacin, especially alongside other heart or diabetes medications, talk to your doctor. And if you're getting your niacin from real foods, that's usually the safest and most effective way. Because when it comes to protecting your heart, liver, and brain in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, it's not about taking more. It's about taking what your body truly needs and nothing more. If you found this helpful, please subscribe so you don't miss the next video. And don't forget to comment below with your location. We'd love to know where you're watching from. Take care of yourself, stay gentle with your health, and we'll see you in the